This is a computer. Right here, underneath this CPU cooler, we have the CPU. It's some old 64-bit AMD thing, I have no idea. We have, of course, the very gaming PCIe ports by 16 and by 1. We have the optical media, we have the power supply, and we have the random other front panel items. So this computer is enough for tinkering on and all that, which is good. However, unfortunately, I can't have very much fun with this when I'm working with integrated AMD Radeon graphics and some ancient Samsung hard drives. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, see this thing? This is bigger than I thought. I thought this was small. No, this is big. I'll be making a video on this PC later, but that's not what this one is about. This video is about a very recent upgrade to my arsenal, because my Mac isn't good for tinkering and it's reaching its limits. And this PC is great for tinkering, but it was at its limit before it started. This thing can barely run Half-Life Source, which, yeah, I know, I guess that's a weird game to play, but you get the picture. But I realized that I need a PC, and I finally decided that it was time to do something about it. So I built a PC. As you can see, there's no GPU. That's coming later. Right, so the first step, I think, is I need a power supply. This is to ground myself so that I don't explode any of my components when working on them. Underneath here is where all the important cables are, and then this is the power supply. And okay, I think what I need to do, hopefully that's not important, is I need to plug it in. This is a chunky cable. Look at how thick this is. Okay, yes, I admit this is my first time building a PC, so I do have a cheat sheet. Okay, what's the next step? Well, I know this myself. Motherboard. I got this thing. It's a good motherboard. I've already opened it again. Okay, so I have very limited space here. The camera is showing basically all of the desk that I have. Either way, we have the motherboard. Right, so the first thing that I forgot was cable cutter. Okay, I have the proper tools. Ow, we actually have the motherboard now. Okay, I guess I'm doing the CPU now. So, what CPU did I get? Well, I got an AMD Ryzen 5 7600X because it's better than the 7600 and it costs almost nothing more. Here we go. Let's read the instructions first, because, you know, people think it's funny to throw instructions away, but not when you spent a lot of money on things that you care about. This is heavy, like, there's a lot of metal and silicone on here. This is basically what I expected. Align the corner to the corner. There is no corner to be aligned to the corner. Okay, well. This goes down. And on it goes. Just like that, I've installed my first ever CPU. Okay, now that my processor is installed, let's get to the RAM. So for the RAM, I have some secondhand Corsair Vengeance DDR5. Don't mind the whole 64 gigabytes, this is not the correct box. Now I realize, since I bought this RAM costs a lot more than it used to.
Ah, this is bad!
Anyways. No, there we go. Whew, okay. The RAM is in. Now, you might be wondering, where's the storage? Well, that's a great question. The answer is I don't have it. And I know, usually people either buy everything in one go, or wait until they have everything. But the reason why I'm not doing that is because it's so far taken me about a year to get all these parts, and I don't want my warranties to end with parts that may be broken, so that's why. Okay, so for cooler, I have the Noctua NH-U9S. I was looking at a bunch of coolers, and I kept getting nervous that it wouldn't fit in my case, which is a server rack, by the way. So I just kept going smaller and smaller and smaller, which I probably didn't need to do. But I'm not going to be putting anything crazy on this computer. Coming from a Mac Mini M1, I don't think I need a huge cooler for the things that I'm doing. So, let's take a look. What do I have? I'm assuming it's in a push configuration, because with a single fan, that's the correct way you do it. Now, according to the technical specifications, this motherboard has fancy audio capacitors. I mean, my headphones will be the judge of that. Okay. Now let's put the thermal paste on. And now I have some spare thermal paste for later. Now is the part where I put the cooler on. Oh, I have to take the fan off. I am making it lower, right? I am getting worried. Good enough. There we go. So we should probably install it now. I'll just quickly deal with this. Sorry, don't mind me, I just have to put my RAM away. Hold on. It takes up like the entire desk, plus some. There we go. This massive thing is my case. Ta-da! I found an issue, a very big issue. I almost messed that up really badly. Assuming all that cracking was a good indication, I think I'm correct. Hold on there. What was that? Now, it's time for the power supply. So, I have a Corsair 750 watt power supply, as I mentioned earlier. This isn't particularly difficult, I say, as the cable doesn't connect. Okay, I got the thing in. I got the thing in the thing. This is the blowy epi connector combined with PCIe. So, I found that it's easier to hook up the power supply outside of the case. I have to screw the power supply back in again. There. Okay, I have here the Dvorak keyboard, and I have HDMI out, so. Okay, moment of truth. There we go, 3.06. One of the first things that I should do is check, is there a BIOS update? Okay, for starters, I'm quite happy because already the power light works, my front panel USB works, all the fans are spinning, it's completely silent. As you can see, it's DDR 4800 megahertz. 5600. Well, wasn't that easy? 5600 megahertz right there. Well, I have my storage. It's a WD Black 1 terabyte because that's what I could afford. And like, I've been using a 256 gig Mac and a 1 terabyte external SSD for years. Honestly, I'm fine. It's smaller than I realized. As you can see, it has thermal pad, which is good because I know that the difference with and without that is like 40, maybe 30 degrees Celsius. There we go. Okay, I do not have a GPU yet. Still, don't worry. That will come someday. Now, it's time for round 2 of Does It Boot? Let's see. It's a good sign. That's an extra good sign. Okay, well, the BIOS updated. It's the latest version. My SN850X is detected, and if I head over to the home page, you can see my memory is again overclocked successfully, my CPU is detected properly, and if I just go into hardware monitor, I'm gonna change my fans a bit. Now that I have a functioning PC, I still need to choose an operating system. So, I mean, I could do Windows 11. Yeah, we also have... Who put that there? Moving aside, we also have... No, I'm not doing a Hackintosh. And lastly, the final option. Linux. But now, the question is, which one do I pick? I don't want Linux Mint, but I also don't want Ubuntu. I'm not interested in Fedora, nor Red Hat, nor Pop! OS, nor Bazite, definitely not Manjaro. I want something fun. I want Arch Linux. That's right, I have an Arch Linux PC, because why? I wanted to make it myself, I wanted to have fun, and I wanted to own my PC. In case you're interested, here are all the technical specifications on screen. But yeah, and so far I've done tests of this computer on lots of different games. Quick overview, Helldivers 2 is playable, mostly because of the nature of how the game works. Marvel Rivals, it's kind of awful, but that's just been on every machine that I own. Minecraft is great. BeamNG is not very good, unfortunately. Hytale is pretty good. CS2 is not great performance, but depending on what settings you're okay at playing at, it can run fine. And then if you go for Legacy CSGO, if you can find some friends to play with, then it also runs pretty well. Out of all the games that I've played so far, I found that Team Fortress 2 is by far the best. I've also tried Half-Life 2. Its performance is pretty good. Overall, most of the games that I've played ran better on my Mac than this PC, but that's kind of to be expected because my Mac has an actual GPU. This computer doesn't. So with all of that aside, I'm pretty happy how this has turned out, and I cannot wait until I finally get that GPU, and then I can have the ultimate gaming and production PC for my stuff. I guess in person me will be seeing you in March. Bye.